Hey Kerbal Space friends, how's everybody doing? Right here with this week's Kerbal Space Program video. This one I didn't actually have to edit or anything, I'm just doing how I normally do it. Live, one take. So anyway, I was watching in the Space Biz YouTube channel, because I watch that all the time. They launched the Atlas 4 heavy rocket with some huge navigation satellite for some US government department. I didn't really pay attention. But I was watching the rocket launch and I started wondering. They have 3 identical liquid boosters. And it kind of looked like they were running it under asparagus staging. But then I also remembered that Elon Musk from SpaceX, I saw an interview with him where he was saying that his Falcon Heavy that's coming up, which is a similar configuration, main booster, 2 boosters on the side, all 3 being identical, is going to have fuel crossfeed. So if they need the extra weight, they'll do pretty much real-life asparagus staging. But if they don't, they'll just let it run normally. I looked at this rocket and I went to myself, well, if they don't have asparagus staging, then what exactly do they do? So I did some reading, and this is what they do. When they launch, all 3 engines are burning at 100%. They wait 43 seconds, but we don't have that kind of time. It's Kerbal and it's smaller. And then they cut down the center rocket to 55%. Now in KSP, that shows up as a massive difference in the flame coming out of the back of the rocket. In real life, it kind of didn't. If you watch the video, you can see the flames a little bit dimmer, but it's not a whole lot dimmer. Also, like with real rockets, I'm doing my gravity turn really early. Even though it's less efficient, real space programs do this so that if they have to blow up the rocket, they don't shower a bunch of living people with hydrazine. Which would be bad, by the way. It's very toxic. And they run it like this, with my very aggressive gravity turning that I have to fly manually, till the side boosters run out of fuel. Now, side note, I love playing with rockets again. I get so caught up in SSTOs and VTOLs and STOVLs and just planes in general. Especially SSTOs and these latest patches, I've had a very hard time working with them. And when I have something like, a rocket that you don't have to do intake error, you don't have to switch engines, you don't have to worry so much about fuel load, it's a little refreshing. That's why I made this video, just so I could have an excuse to play with just regular garden variety rockets again. So, I have been a little less aggressive than I should have been in my gravity turning. Let's continue without losing control of the rocket, which is a real danger when you're doing it like this. Big fairing and all. Alright, now that we got rid of the side boosters, we go back to 100%. Keep burning for the horizon. We're almost in space, which is pretty similar to how the real launch went. I made it more so it looked like it rather than acted like it, and it seemed to line up pretty well. I'm kind of happy with how this is working. Let's get to burning flat. Alright, full burn, perfectly flat. And second stage ignition. Now, in the real rocket, they just pop the fairing, but in KSP, if you do that, you often end up blowing up something. So throttle down. There we go. And there it is. We have a big satellite in space with a very high apoapsis. But then again, we are aiming for geosynchronous orbit, which is a lot higher than that. It's in the 2700s. And let's go back to full burn because we already got rid of the fairings. There, go a little over, it doesn't matter. And now we get to coast out to geosync, where we will circularize with the fuel remaining here, which there's plenty of. Let's deploy the satellite-y stuff. This, of course, also has the Veos-inspired Werner engines for moving around and aiming and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to kind of nerd out a little bit about the big, huge, sexy rocket that launched today. A little bit of how they do it, sort of my little replica of it. And of course, once we're in the right place, we'll point this back at Kerbin and let the Kerbals watch football through their satellite TV. It'll be awesome. Anyway, just a little quick video nerding out about the Delta IV. I love to watch the rocket launches, especially when it's the SpaceX ones. Those guys have nailed something like 3 barge landings in a row. It's amazing. So without getting too much carried away about real space nerdiness, I'm going to thank you guys for watching and remind you guys to fly safe even if it is an unmanned satellite launch. Bye now.